Welcome to the Weeb Lounge, and this is our character review of Foreigner Class Servant Abigail Williams from Fate Grand Order. Hey everyone, I'm Nick, and this is the very first Foreigner Class Servant ever introduced in Fate Grand Order. Foreigners are actually defensive against Berserkers and deal double damage to them, which is pretty much what everybody else does to Berserkers too. But having some defensive measure against Berserkers, that's really comes in handy because a lot of the newer content, there's Berserkers all over the place. So having Abigail Williams in your party could actually come in handy. Now, her first skill is a NP gauge over 3 turns. It's 10% of your NP gauge every turn, 3 turns. And then for those 3 turns, it also increases your Noble Phantasm damage. Her second skill is like this random stun. It puts a debuff on the entire line of enemies with a chance to stun once over those 3 turns. It's not that great. It's random. Sometimes comes in handy, sometimes comes in clutch, but otherwise it's kind of junk. Her third skill is a little bit more useful, and her third skill reduces the enemy's NP gauge by 1 tick, and it also removes one of the enemy's buffs. Now, her Noble Phantasm, single target buster card, does some heavy damage to a single target, but it's really only going to be a Berserker. I mean, any other target it's kind of crap against, to be honest. It also removes another enemy debuff when and that activates first before the actual damage. So let's see her in action.
Now, Abigail Williams, her ability to generate arts isn't all that great. Yeah, she has a skill that gives you 10% a turn for 3 turns, so it's 30% for your whole crew. That's really useful, but her individual ability to generate arts isn't that great. So let's see, in this little situation here, I'm going to do a full chain of her. Start with an arts, then a quick, followed by an arts. See how much she gets. She has 154% rate. See what she can do, good or not. Yeah, that was only 32%. That's her ability to generate arts is piss poor, to say the least. Now let's see your Noble Phantasm in action. In all reality, it's fairly mediocre. Of course, good against Berserkers, but it is what it is. Her primary benefit is that she's defensive against Berserkers. Other than that, kind of mediocre, but let's buff her up. Attack damage here. This will help increase Noble Phantasm damage. And the middle one has that timed random stun component, but also defense down. Actually resisted the other debuff. Alright. Now I do like her Noble Phantasm itself, the animation. Just shy of 220,000 damage. Like I said, power's a little mediocre, but also this is an NP5 Grail to 100 character. So maybe her damage is actually a little under par.
As you can see, Abby can be pretty useful in situations involving powerful Berserkers. But is she really necessary to add to your collection? I'm actually going to say no, with a caveat. If you don't have her, it's a good idea to get Hokusai. If you don't have Hokusai, Abby's pretty good. Mysterious Heroine XX, she's not worth trying for, to be honest. But if you have Abby or Hokusai, one of the two, if you already have one of the two, you're good. Now, if you really want to powerhouse it or whatever, and have Abby, Hokusai, and a support character to really tear into some berserkers, you really can't go wrong with that. But I would say if she comes up and you have your option, you don't have, well, you have your option to get one or the other. I would say try to go for Abby and or Hokusai. If you can get both combined, great. If not, if you already have Hokusai, I just give Abby a pass, unless you're a completist, of course. Trying to get multiple copies of her, not really worth it. Like I said, foreigners are overall pretty situational. They're not terribly handy, but whenever you come across a powerful berserker, they're clutch. So if you feel like spending some quartz on Abby or Hokusai or any foreigner class, I say go for it. Otherwise, if you don't really feel the need to have that kind of defense against a berserker class or some big berserker fight, I'd say just give it a pass. All right, and that's our review on Abby. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification button. We stream over at the twitch.tv/the Weeb Lounge, often doing Fate Grand Order stuff and a whole bunch of other things. Feel free to stop by, ask some questions, get our opinion on other characters, and we'll see you in the next video.